right, we're going to install this new Elf Match Pro trigger, and it's got the new Pro Lock trigger system on it from Elf. All right, so here's what it is. These are threaded right here, the two bushings are, and we're just going to make sure our plate is in the right direction on the bottom that comes with the trigger. We're going to set the trigger in place. We've already removed the old trigger system. And now what happens is we use these 4 screws. So we have, they go on both sides of the trigger, and you're just going to put it inside the old trigger pinholes and turn it down until it just stops. You don't get all crazy. And the only thing on this is if your lower isn't cleared far enough in front of the front screws, you can't use our system. And there are lowers out there that it won't work on. Most of them it will. So you got to make sure you can clear for the washer right in front of it. Now the same thing, we're just going to turn this in. As soon as it's down a little firm, it don't really have to be. Then we're going to go to the other side. And this is a new patent we have on this system. And what's really cool about this is that triggers function better or if they don't move at all. And even though you think a trigger is not moving in there because the 2 set screws on the side, it doesn't really always mean that. It can still move. And so we wanted to eliminate that. So I came up with this method right here. And basically now you can tighten your trigger down at 4 points here, and you're still going to tighten the 2 points inside. So this trigger is locked in 6 different ways. And the tighter that the trigger is in, the better it functions. It also makes your lower stronger. It makes it stiffer. Normally it's just pins through here, but now it's got 4 screws bolting the lower together. So it makes it for a really solid system. So you're going to run down this till it touches on one side. Run down the other trigger pin on the opposite side, the set screw, till it touches, and I just firm them up. You don't have to get crazy at all. It's held in by 6 different points.
Do you do that before you tighten that?
So, yeah, so I tighten them up just firm, okay? Now you're going to take both Allen wrenches, put one on each side. Let's see here. And now you're going to just firm. They can't come out. They have lock washers and washers, I mean. And so when you firm that in, that trigger is in. I mean, that's just not going. So now your trigger is locked in on 4 points here and here. And then you have the 2 inside. So this trigger is locked in 6 different ways. The firmer the trigger's in the gun, the better it works. Okay, now you want to move the spring ends. I can't see that. You want to move the spring ends out and over the set screws. It also allows the set screws not to come out. And it keeps them out of the way. So that trigger is installed. Now, to do your safety, we go into the fallen position, but not the full fired position, and that allows your safety to go in. If your gun is in the fallen position, if your trigger is, you'll find that this doesn't want to go in. So if you go to the half cock, then your safety will go in. So you put your safety in then, and then you want to, we didn't tighten this all down, but we want to put our trigger all the way back. We want to put the safety in and make sure that the gun won't fire. And that's it. That trigger is installed. So now we're going to take this trigger out, and basically I'm doing it to show you if one of these screws doesn't want to come out because the bushing's spinning on the inside, how we're going to deal with that, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I like taking the tension off by letting the hammer fall. Okay, and I'm going to go on each side, and we're going to loosen them, and hopefully they both loosen, but if they don't, we're going to take out the one that loosened. Now just loosen it a little on both sides because we got to unloosen the 2 set screws on the bottom of the trigger on each side. So now we're going to put one up here, loosen it up so it can come free. Same with this one. Okay, so now that will let us just take these screws out, like this one's even coming out by hand. So we take that one out, we're going to take this one out. Now if this thing started spinning and didn't want to come out, then what we do is we would take, because it can spin, and what's happening is it's not coming out because the bushing is spinning. So we've provided this screw in the package, okay? This screw is going to go in. You make sure you got enough threads in it that it's going to hold. You're not going to strip out your bushing. Then you tighten down the nut against it, okay? And again, there's another Allen wrench. Okay, so now we got the right Allen wrench. So now when that's tight against there, you're going to take a wrench, and now you're just going to tighten that a little bit against it so it's firm, okay? Now this will come right out. Okay, so now you'll be able to spin this one out, and then you're just going to take the same Allen wrench again. You're going to put it back in the Allen wrench. You're going to tighten this. You're going to loosen this up. And now there's no force, no pressure against that. If you get your Allen wrench out, and then we're going to unscrew this. So if anything gets stuck, this is how you're going to get it out. And now you take this out and it's out of your way.